Another fish on this one. He's got red.
Baby, right there. As I film this with Stampede Reservoir over my shoulder, it is July 17th, basically the middle of summer. Last week, I reached out to several of our team members and I asked them where they were going to be fishing over the next month and what they were going to be targeting. And I think this gives you some clues as to where you might go and get in on some really good action. So in no particular order, this is what the guides had to say. We'll lead off with Brian Ricucci of Big Daddy's Guide Service. Big Daddy, he's up at Elmanor right now. He's targeting big browns, big rainbows, and he's catching the occasional king salmon. But on or about August 1st, he is heading over to Bucks Lake for a couple weeks. He wants to get in on that rip-roaring kokanee bite over there. And I could tell you what, I was out there last week, and that bite is really, really good. Chunky fish, pretty much wide open action. Brian is the best guy that fishes that lake, certainly the best guide that fishes that lake. So I think if you get up there with him or get up there on your own in August, kokanee are going to be at their largest. They're going to be schooled up really, really tightly. And I think you're going to have a heyday catching those fish. It was a lot of fun when I was up there, and they're only going to be bigger in, a couple, 3 weeks. So that is a great option. Bucks Lake kokanee. Up next, we have Captain Jeff Goodwin of Jeff Goodwin's Guide Service. He is a staple up on Shasta Lake, and that's where he's going to be over the next month. He said his primary target is going to be rainbow trout, but he's also going to be chasing kings. He's also going to be chasing kokanee. Hey, that's one of the great things about Lake Shasta. You have options, and he didn't even mention the bass fishing or the cat fishing or any of that. You're looking for maximum fun, maximum diversity, maximum size in terms of the lake and the water available. Shasta is a great option. The only downside of Shasta this time of the year, you know what it is? It's going to be hot. It's going to be so hot. But you can beat the heat, well, by taking a swim. Early, late, it's not going to be as hot. And the fishing on Shasta is very, very good during the summer. Had one of my most memorable trout outings ever at Lake Shasta in early September. It was about 115 degrees. Yes, you heard that right. 115. And I went out with Gary Morales of the Shasta Tackle Company back when he used to live at Shasta. And we actually trolled in the shadow of the I-5 bridge to be out of the sun. But I'll tell you what. Those rainbows were locked into the thermocline. They were feeding on shad, and we caught fish steadily for 2.5 hours. We landed over 35 trout to about 4 pounds. That's the kind of action you get on Shasta as, summer starts to give way to fall. Just very, very good fishing. You just got to stay cool. The fish are there, and they are ready to go. The next guy to respond to me was Monty Smith of Gold Country Sport Fishing. And Monty, he's down there on Don Pedro Reservoir, and he's catching really big kokanee. And he said, I am going to keep on targeting those kokanee until they stop biting, and then I'm going to turn my attention to rainbow trout. He's not even targeting the rainbows now. Don Pedro, one of the premier rainbow fisheries in the entire state, and Monty's not even looking for trout because the kokanee are so big. He's routinely getting kokanee now that are over 2 pounds. Big, huge, football-shaped slab kokanee. You can't beat that. Don Pedro, it's kind of one of those overlooked places in the state. Doesn't get as much pressure as New Maloney's and a lot of other lakes. But I'll tell you what, for me, it's right up there in the top 5 reservoirs in the state. And it may be right behind Shasta for me in terms of its rainbow fishery. That lake is full of threadfin shad, and it is full of rainbows that just chomp on those bait fish. Big, sleek, steelhead looking rainbows. It's a great lake, and that kokanee bite this year is nothing short of phenomenal. I was out with Monty when he got his first 2-pounder of the year. We got one that was right at 2 pounds. We weighed it, caught it by accident. We had a king salmon bait down deep, and we hooked up with that kokanee. And as I said, he's been getting them on a regular basis ever since. Roger George, San Luis Reservoir, stripers. you might not have heard of Roger, you might not know much about San Luis Reservoir, and you probably have no idea how big the stripers get at that lake. And Roger, he's the only guide on the lake, the only licensed guide on the lake, and he is a trophy hunter. He gets some huge stripers down there, and he does it in a very unique way. Roger told me he is going to be pulling minnow imitating plugs, swim baits, stuff like that. He's going to be working structure, he's going to be working flats, and he's going to be using downriggers to target the reservoir's big stripers. You're seeing one of Roger's recent clients with a big striper right now. He is the man when it comes to catching huge reservoir stripers in California. There's no place as unique for striper fishing out west as San Luis Reservoir. Very difficult to fish. You've got to deal with wind. You've got to deal with water fluctuations. But Roger's got it dialed, and I will be going out with him during the month of August, and I can't wait. I only know about striper fishing in the ocean, in the bay, and in the Delta. San Luis, totally different game. It's downrigger fishing for big, hard-fighting stripers, and he also gets big numbers of stripers, huge numbers of stripers. So I can't wait for that to happen. If you want to learn how to fish that lake, I strongly encourage you to book a trip with Roger George, because it's not your usual type of striper fishing, and he is the expert of all experts when it comes to catching those bass. Up next, we have the legend himself, Captain Kevin Brock. He is definitely in the upper echelon of California guides. Been a full-time guide since the 90s. That's the only job Kevin has ever had. And I can tell you what, you would not want to be paying Kevin's fuel bill, because he stays on the move. He's hard to get a hold of. He's everywhere. He told me over the next 6 weeks, he is going to be at Lake Oroville. He's going to be at Bullard's Bar. He's probably going to be on the Feather River, and he's going to be fishing salmon up at Gold Beach, Oregon. When it comes to salmon fishing, he is a stick, but he can do the kokanee, he can do the kings, he can do the stripers. Kevin can do it all. The man is a moving target. That's why he is a legend. He knows all those fisheries well. He's going to put his clients on fish, and if you kind of follow where he's going, you can get on some fish too. If you want kings, Oroville is a great bet. If you want limits of kokanee and you don't want to travel all the way up to bucks, Bullard's is a great option. If you want to get in on some dime bright, beautiful ocean run salmon, Gold Beach is a place to go. Mouth of the Rogue, if you've never done it, it is absolutely epic. You're catching big salmon just minutes from having left the ocean there at the mouth of the Rogue. Beautiful setting, great fishing. Took my wife and her best friend up there a number of years ago. My wife got a 28. Her friend Deborah got a 31. Incredible salmon fishery there at Gold Beach. And it looks like we're going to have some salmon fishing available on the Feather River too. And you Feather River salmon junkies, you know what that's all about. That is always one of the favored places in the valley to go target salmon. And that's coming up fairly soon. Big Nate, Captain Nathan Kelch, Big Nate's Guide Service. Nate is a fixture at Lake Berryessa, and he's not leaving there. Why would he leave? He's catching kokanee. He's catching bonus rainbows. He's catching kinks. He's putting together some beautiful limits of fish for his clients. If the kokanee bite slows down, he is going to turn his attention to targeting kings. But right now, that kokanee bite shows no sign of slowing down. Don't want to deal with getting your boat banded, but you still want to get out on Berryessa after some kokanee? Book a trip with Big Nate. He's the man. He'll put you on the fish. You'll have a bunch of laughs. You'll have a good time. And just an all-around positive experience every time I've been on the water with Captain Nate. Last but not least, we have Captain Jerry Lampkin of TNG Motorsports Guide Service. Now, Jerry is a legend in his own right when it comes to fishing Folsom Lake, but he's not fishing Folsom Lake right now. He is up on the Klamath. He said he is just enjoying some river fishing. He's targeting steelhead. He said he's going to make a couple forays up into Oregon. He's going to be chasing steelhead. He's just having a good old time. Jerry just retired from his real job. So he has the ability to travel and just get some great enjoyable time out on the water, out in his jet boat, catching salmon and steelhead and stuff like that. But I'm sure he will be back on Folsom Lake real soon, and he will also be out there on the California Delta too when those stripers start showing up during the fall run. Okay, there you have it. Berryessa, Gold Beach, Don Pedro, Bucks Lake, all those places and more. You've got some ideas of places where you can go and get your fish on. If you want to elevate your game, if you want to become a better fisherman, book a trip with any one of the guides I've mentioned. They're all super professional, or they would not be part of the Catch America team. A day on the water with any one of those guys is going to teach you so much about fishing, whether you're a beginner or a seasoned veteran with your own boat. Those guys have hundreds of years of combined experience on the water. They know all the tricks. They know the spots. They know how the fish move seasonally. Get out there on the water with them, ask questions, and they will absolutely make you a better and more effective angler moving forward. That's all I got to say. You might be wondering where I'm going. Well, you're going to have to stay tuned for that, because I've got some surprises in store. I'm going to be fishing some waters that I am not known to guide on, but I'm going to be guiding on them this year. But you're just going to have to hang on for that, because I'm not ready to announce it yet. I'm out of here for now. I'm Kel Kellogg. Thank you for all the support you've been giving the channel. Thank you for all the support you've been giving our store. And if you could do me a big favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification, and you'll always know when the Catch America team is here on YouTube talking about fishing and trying to make you a better angler.